right, check this tweet out. Jiang Qiha, who is the guy who genetically modified babies, embryos, to like a germline, the first ever human germline genetic engineering. He just tweeted this. He said, "It is double standard about this baby who had a personalized gene editing treatment that saved his life." I don't know what gender this baby is. And look, it's not a double standard. And the fact that you think it's a double standard makes me even more worried about your ability to know what's going on. Okay, so here's what you got to understand. There's two different ways. Two very important. Everybody's got to get this in their heads. And it's going to be important to have it in your head over the next 20 years because this debate is going to be happening. There's two different ways to change the genes of a body. One is you change the genes of a body. So let's say, for example, sickle cell disease. These people have a disease, their bone marrow makes blood badly. You could take their bone marrow out, genetically modify the bone marrow to not have that disease anymore in various ways, and then you could kill all the bone marrow in their body, or most of it, which is an unpleasant process, but it is something you can do. And then you can put the new bone marrow back in. It will recolonize the bones like it's a little microorganism that lives inside of you, made of you. Duh. And then that person will no longer have sickle cell disease. And that is genetically modifying the body. And then you could genetically modify the germline. If you take a embryo that's just like 4 cells and you genetically modify everything in that embryo, then now everything in the body will have that new genetic modification. And that means that the genetic modification will be passed on to their children. Now, this is not something that we definitely don't want to do, but it is something that we have only done twice, and it was this guy who did it. This baby, that's not what they did. They did not look at an embryo that had a genetic disease and say, oh, here's what we'll do. We'll fix this embryo so it doesn't have the genetic disease. Now that, again, is not something I'm saying that we should never do, but it is not something we have done before, except illicitly this one guy who went to jail for it. Instead, they did not know this baby had a genetic disorder. This baby was born, had the disorder, and in order to save the baby, they did a similar thing where they had a thing, I think internal to the body, go to the liver, which is this like area of the body where this mutation affects, go to the liver and actually change the cells in the body. The baby's gametes, the sex cells, are not affected, and so this baby could have a child. This baby couldn't. When it grows up to be an adult, it could have a child that then also inherited this disease. Now, would it be better for a disease like this, or like Huntington's disease, for this to be done at the embryo level, where we fix the thing so that the baby doesn't have the disease, but also when the baby grows up and has babies, those babies also don't have the disease? The answer to that question, in my opinion, is yes, but that is currently a matter of opinion, and it also requires a sort of order of magnitude more care. So what we're talking about is somatic cells versus germline cells. If you're introducing something into the body, that's a somatic cell. If you're introducing into the sex cells, that's the germline. And the germline means this is now a new trait in the human population that we have created. That's just a big gap to cross. What this guy did is he did that. He did it for a reason that wasn't very good. He did it without properly helping the parents of those children understand the risks. And he did it using techniques that weren't very good. And so resulted in a mix of cells in the baby. So the embryo, it didn't actually change all of the embryonic cells. So now we have these babies that are kind of chimeras where some of their cells have the edits and some of them don't. That's the kind of thing that you want to do a bunch in animals first before you do it in people. And you shouldn't have done that. And it's wild to me that you think this is a double standard when they didn't do germline. It wasn't germline, buddy. What the are you talking about? Now, in addition to it not being germline, there was a much better reason to do it for this baby who probably would either have needed a liver transplant and then potentially more liver transplants down the road, or would die. And so this option is amazing and very exciting. And there were not very many choices for this child. So that's good that there was a new choice. For clarity, what happened with the babies in China that had the germline engineering is that one of their parents was HIV positive, and they did not want the babies to be able to contract HIV, and so they made edits to make it so that the babies wouldn't be able to contract HIV, which sounds like a good thing. But we have ways to do this already. So the big concern is that they contract HIV in utero, which can happen. But we know how to make this not happen. We are good at it. We do it all the time. Babies who have access to good care are no longer born with HIV. And so we don't need that new treatment. You know, like a liver transplant is a lot worse than the treatments that prevent the virus from passing from a mother to a child. And that's the whole story. I just can't believe people are so weird. I'm just a guy. You know, I'm not trained in any of this. But this guy has to know that the reason that like he went to jail and it was controversial is that we've never done germline engineering on human embryos before. And that's not what this is. This is different. He has to know that. Okay, that's the video. Let's play Connections. But before we play Connections, I should remind you that it is 10 days away from the end of the Crash Course Coin campaign. Crash Course is a resource for students and teachers that is used in schools all over the world. But over 90% of schools in America have Crash Course inside of it, and it's extremely inexpensive to make Crash Course per unit of good impact it has in the world. But it is extremely expensive to make compared to most YouTube videos, including this one. And so how we solve that is that people can buy the Crash Course coin. They can take some time to consider whether or not they would like to be one of the reasons why Crash Course exists. And compared to the literally tens of millions of people who are helped by Crash Course, the number of people who buy Crash Course coins is extremely small, but those people have just this tremendous impact on the world. So if you think that you might have the ability to buy a Crash Course coin and help us make Crash Course possible, check it out. You only got 10 days left. And all the people who say to me, "Thank you, Hank," when they see me in the world, they say, "Thank you for Crash Course," I can say to them, no, thank the person who bought the coin, because they're the reason that this thing can go on. And maybe that can be you. If it can't be you, that's totally understandable. All I'm asking is that you take a second to wonder if maybe it could be you. And if you think maybe it could be, if this is a good way for you to spend $100 on a coin where almost all that money is going to go to make Crash Course so that it could be amazing and impactful in the world, you can check it out, crashcoursecoin.com. There's a link in the description. Melon ball. I love a melon ball. Chance ball. Ball. Soul blubber. Function. Fluke and blubber are whale things. Toe. Are there other whale things? Flipper is a whale thing. Flipper's a whale thing. What else do we got? Anything else? Not really. That's upsetting. Utility. Toe. Avenue. Benefit. Railroad. Gala. Heel. Melon ball. Chance ball. Ball is to cry. Ball doesn't mean much except to cry. So that's weird that I don't see anything else that's about crying. Flipper, blubber, fluke. Come on. Fluke also means like a thing that happens by chance. Melon. Is melon a whale thing and I don't know it? A benefit is, benefit ball gala. Great. Those are like parties. And then what's the last one? Melon, chance, ball, fluke, function. A function. Yeah, a function. That's a hilarious word for that, though. I can't believe we have that word. It's a function. Ball is to cry. Ball. Oh no, I'm confused. So now we got flipper, blubber, fluke. So now we got flipper, flubber, fluke. Flipper, blubber, fluke. What am I missing here? Is melon a part of a whale? Oh, there's monopoly things. Railroad, utility, avenue, chance. Okay, all right. It's definitely a whale thing. What does that leave us with? Because none of those are in the whale category. So we got soul, toe. Oh, these are parts of the foot. Toe, sole, heel. It's got to be here somewhere. Ball. Ball of the foot. Oh, no ball, because it's the homophone. That's okay. That's got to be the purple. And then I guess a melon is a part of a whale. What? I don't know what the melon is. What's a melon? Whale melon. Okay, sure. The melon. They got melons. They can shake them and they can push them and they can make them all wiggles. All right, the melon. All right, look, that's something I feel like I would have known. And I did kind of center in on it. Maybe I did know it somewhere in my head. What's next? I don't know. Is it probably the Monopoly thing? Yeah, reverse rainbow, baby. All right, goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.